here with Scrap and Abby, and I'm back with project number 2 for my Craftmas 2016 video series that I'm doing for on my YouTube channel this year. I hope that this angle is okay. I'm kind of experimenting with one of my smaller tabletop tripods. Because this is a dimensional object that's a little bit larger, it's this wooden Christmas tree here I got from Michael's. I thought this might be a better view when I'm doing some of the different techniques and application of some of the different embellishments on the base of this, because I won't be able to lay it flat like this like I typically do because my camera is mounted above my craft table, but I do have the smaller tripod. So I'm going to try this out and hopefully this works okay. Comment below and let me know if you like me doing it this way. I won't be offended because I know I need to get an additional tripod that's a little bit better than this tabletop one for angles such as this, because this is my tripod is actually kind of my workspace, but I'm going to work around that. So let me get to the project. What I'm going to be altering is this wood Christmas tree that I got from Michael's. On the back side you can see it's more of a solid blue and white, kind of the natural color, and then on the front it's been distressed and sanded off. Now it's very cute this way, but I want to make this match my home decor for the holiday season. And something funny I wanted to tell you. You can see the base of this is kind of curved, and I didn't pay attention to the other 2 or 3 that were left on the shelf, but when I put this on my craft table I noticed it was rocking, and all of a sudden that song "Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree" came into my head, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is really rocking around the Christmas tree. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you. And some of the different items I'm going to be using for embellishments, I have this, okay, stop rocking. I have this jar full of some different vintage buttons that are from like my grandma's stash and ones I found at estate sales, and I thought I could incorporate maybe some of the smaller kind of copper colored or actually a little more of a champagne-y kind of copper colored beads, and maybe some of these beads here. I'm not going to use any of the you know, bling pieces. Those are going to be for a different project. And for some more embellishment, I might possibly use this green glitter from, let's see, Making Memories. I'm not sure if I want to use that or not. And I also have this glass glitter right here, so we'll see how it goes as it go along. Here's some more little tiny glass beads. I've bought these, I don't remember where I got these from, but I put them in this salt and pepper shaker from the Dollar Tree, and it works perfectly. And for as far as paints and some of the adhesives, I'm going to be using this adhesive for the buttons and the beads, the base of the tray. It dries clear, so I want to have a clear look. And this is the Distress Collage Medium, the Crackle, or Crazing, excuse me, and I love this stuff. So this is what I'll be using on the tree itself right up here in the star once I get it all painted like I want to. So one of the greens I chose for my stash of green paints anyway is Palm Leaf. And then I have this plaster color, which is from Waverly, because I think I'm going to do I want it to be like layers of the green and kind of this antique-y kind of white, and then putting on, you know, these onto the white portions, and then one or both of these possibly on the green if I do it all. And now this is some antique gold Gilders paste wax, and I wanted to use this for the star, so I'm going to be putting that on, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's really, really pretty stuff, and it goes a long way. So this may not look like it's a full container, but there's a lot of product in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get my table set up, get my craft mat out, get my water together, my mason jar, my paintbrushes, and all that good stuff, and kind of get set up. And then I will probably flip it back up onto my tabletop, or excuse me, my overhead tripod if I can't finagle this to work right this way. So you might see me this angle, or you might see me back in the traditional one where we're looking down on my craft desk. So I will see you in just a little bit. Okay ladies, so what I'm showing you here is that I'm just using those paints I showed you in the first part of the video, and I'm reusing some packaging, which is why I like to tell you ladies to always save your packaging because you can use it for projects like this. And I'm just going to be altering between each strip there, between the green and kind of the cream white. I wanted the first layer under the star to be the lighter color, and then I'm just using a Q-tip to kind of pick up some of the paint when I drip some in between the layers. Just kind of touching up there a little bit. Now I'm just heat drying it because I already painted everything, and you're gonna see me grab this other paint called Oatmeal because I wanted that white to be a little bit more creamy, not quite so stark white. So that is why I'm going back over the white stripes. Okay ladies, so what you saw in the last little segment was me just painting this. I didn't think that'd be too exciting to just sit here and watch me just paint this over and over. So what I did with the first coat of the white, it was just the plaster color, and then I thought, it's a bit more white than I really want it to be, because I kind of want this little more beigey kind of antique kind of white. So what I did is I just added some of this oatmeal color of Anita's acrylic craft paint, but you know, you can't find oatmeal, you know, khaki or any of those kind of tan colors, but if you want it to look that way. So I went ahead and did the front. I did about 2 or 3 coats in the front, I believe. I also did the sides because I have to complete everything. It just drives me nuts if I don't. And then I did the back side as well. Even though this is going to be going against the wall, I still want the back side to be done because I will know that it's not done, and maybe down the road I might put this on a table where it can be seen all the way around. And I didn't want the back to be blue and white because it looked very patriotic, which I am. Love America. Go USA. But I don't want that for my Christmas stuff because that's not my colors. And there's the sides again. So I purposely did not do the star because I've been using that to kind of hold this up as I've been painting and things like that. So I'll do the star last. And then the base probably next. So what I'm going to be doing now, and this will be the last clip for this particular project because I need to let this dry overnight. So lay that puppy down right there. So this is going to be where I'm adding some of the Distress Collage medium right here. And this is the crazing. So I wanted to show you how this process is done and how it looks. I mean, it's as simple as just basically brushing this onto the project, but just in case anybody's never seen or used crazing, the crazing medium, I wanted you to see kind of what it looks like. So it looks like hand lotion, but whenever it dries, it's all crackly and it's very, very cool. It's a little bit more of an intense crazing than just like the crackle accents, at least what I found, or any of the different crackle paints that you get in these types of bottles. So just wanted to share that with you. And what I'm doing is I'm just using a paintbrush, one of my art brushes. So I kind of have my different brushes in different for different reasons. So these are going to be all of my mixed media ones because I bought a set from Prima. It's the Finnabar Art Basics. I think there's like 10 brushes or something like that. So I like to use these brushes for any of like the glue and seal, Mod Podge, things like that. And then I have separate brushes for my watercoloring, and then other ones for like the different acrylic paints or whatever. So just to explain, because I don't want to use my watercolor brushes in this kind of medium, because I don't know if I'll be able to get every single tiny piece out, but we'll see. So I'm just kind of show you, I went ahead and used my heat tool, but each layer dried fairly quickly. I was sure to not put it, I didn't put thick coats on there, so it dried fairly quickly. But I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. So I'll just do a few of these layers live, you know, not like speeding up the video or anything. And then whenever I come back and tomorrow morning, I will let you ladies see what it looks like. So I'm going to be using some Distress ink on the front of the tree. I will be putting it on the back as well because, like I said, I want the front and back to match. You don't have to, of course, if you don't want to. That's not a problem. You do what you like. And then I'll be using the Gilders paste, and then adding possibly some of the different items here that I shared with you. I don't know, we're going to see, because I may not add those. I want to kind of see what it's going to look like with just the crazing first, but I may be just around the edges or something. I might put some of those different glass beads on there, and then we'll do the base of the tree with the pearls and those buttons. So let me just kind of get to it. So I'm just going to basically brush right into my container. Now, if you don't like that, if you're worried about, you know, maybe your paints or your whatever medium you have isn't fully dry or something, you can always scoop some of this out, put it onto a piece of packaging like what I've done here with the craft paint. And what I'll do is I'll just cut this part off and then keep this one for further projects. You can put it directly on your craft mat, a lid, whatever you want to do if you are worried about that. I'm not too concerned because I know this is dry, because I had it sitting here for a while after it dried by itself. And I used the heat tool and I was gabbing with somebody. Let's just get real. So I'm just going to go ahead and just start brushing this on. So it's not going to look like much until it's dry. And I don't want to put too thick of a layer on here. Just kind of want to put just a nice coat. And I'll just get a couple layers or rows done here so I can kind of show you what I'm doing. And I'll probably go back through with a Q-tip. You probably go back with a Q-tip and I will kind of wipe up some of these edges a little bit. And because I don't really want to have like clumps of the crazing off on the side like that, so at least not for this particular project, so we'll see. So I'm just brushing this on just like that, and you know, you don't need to worry about too much about the streaks and the spokes that you're seeing, or your strokes, I mean, not your spokes, the strokes, because it's going to craze and crackle. So you can kind of see it just looks a little bit glossy right now, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of smooth this out just a little bit so I don't have like super thick areas in one, you know, and it doesn't, I don't know. I've never put this on in super thick layers, so I don't know if that lessens the crazy and crackling. I don't know. I've always put kind of a fairly thin coat. And I'm just making sure I'm in the camera here, so we're going to go ahead and do a couple more rows, and then I will just go ahead and actually I won't. I'll probably just go ahead and finish this real quick, get it done, and kind of let it sit overnight in my craft room, and then tomorrow when I come back we'll finish up the rest of the project that I mentioned to you just a few moments ago. So that's all you really have to do, is just put a, just use whatever paintbrush you have. You can use a sponge brush if you don't have paintbrushes. You can even use your fingers if you don't mind getting your fingers dirty, which I don't mind that. Your finger tools are your best tools, I think. So that's kind of what it looks like. So you can kind of see the shine there versus here. And this does, I think I wanted to see on the side of the bottle if it gives you recommended time to let it dry. But I'll let you see what the side of the bottle here says if you want to pause the video so you can see all the information about this crazy medium. Okay, I think I held it there long enough for you to capture that if you want to. But it dries in a translucent, translucent with a subtle crack crazing matte finish. So even though it goes on glossy like this, it will dry in a crackly crazing kind of matte finish. I wanted to mention that because it is pretty shiny. And then it doesn't say on here how long to let it dry, but I'm going to let it dry overnight because it is late here for me. So I will see you ladies tomorrow, which for your world it'll be just a couple minutes, and we'll check out the crazing and finish up the last parts of this really fun altered wood tree. So I will see you in just a little bit. Okay ladies, I'm back. It is the next morning and the lighting's probably a ton better because I have the window in my bedroom, or my bedroom, my craft room open, the blinds open. So it's a really beautiful sunny day here in Florida. So I wanted to share with you what this looked like after I let it dry overnight. And you can really see the crazing, kind of the crackling right there when you look at this really closely, and you, of course I zoom in on the part where I got some green onto the white and all that, but it's okay. It's a handmade project. That happens. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you here, what this looks like. And so the next step in this process is going to be applying some of the distress ink with the blending tool so I can get a really cool look. Now I went ahead and already done the back sides, so I'm going to let you kind of see what this looks like again up close without the inking. And this is the back side with the inking. I am in love. I love how this looks. Looks like it's been sitting in a barn window or an abandoned house or something for a really long time, and it's just, I love that kind of vintagey, shabby, oh, that's just what I love. I love it, love it. So cute. Not cute, but you know what I'm trying to say. But so I love how that dimension, look at how you get the ink into the little crazing areas. This is really cool. Now, if for anybody watching this, if you don't like that crackly look with the particular distress ink that I use, you can go with a lighter one if you want to. I sampled, actually sampled a couple different inks over here on the bottom just to see if I liked it, and I ended up liking the frayed burlap the best for my taste. But of course you can omit the ink completely if you want to just leave it where it's just the crackling and crazing just like that. That's totally fine. Or if you want to go in with a different color, then do that. I would just recommend that you sample on the back right here, and then you can take a baby wipe and you can wipe it off before it starts to dry if you don't like how that looks. That's what I did, because I tried ground espresso first and it was just a little bit too dark for me for this particular project. So I thought what I would do is to show you how quickly and easily I can add the ink to this. So these are just a little tiny, oops, took the cap off. These are the little mini distress ink pads. You can use the larger if you want to. I just have the whole set of the mini ones right now with some of the larger, but I got the whole mini set, and frayed burlap was one of the ones I reached for the most. Let me zoom this a little bit more so you can kind of see here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just grab the ink, and I'm just going to take the ink pad, I'm just going to kind of twist it in here, and doing this twisting motion is going to give you where the ink is getting down into those cracks and crevices. Now don't freak out when you see this. Just take your blending tool or whatever it is you have to blend in, and you just kind of start doing this business. You just do little circles. I'm pressing kind of hard a little bit so I can kind of get that ink into those areas. And if you find that you are getting ink a little bit darker than what you would prefer it to be, just take a baby wipe and you can just wipe it off if you don't like it that dark. So, okay, and that's all I'm going to do is just kind of finish this part up here. And then we're going to move on to the last part of, or a couple of the last parts of this project, and we will be all done. So I do like to work in a little bit smaller sections. I did a little bit larger the first time just to kind of show you that twisting motion and how that would look. And I just love how this looks. So cool. And this is exactly the look I was going for this particular project, because I really kind of wanted that vintagey looking, you know, kind of semi-grunge kind of shabby look. So, and I apologize, my little Dotson, I had a delivery about 5 minutes ago, and she's still wanting to do some afterbarks, thinking somebody's still on the front porch. So I apologize if you hear her in the background. And that one looks a little bit weird. Let me get a little bit more in that corner right there. See if I can get that to work in. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and just kind of just dab this really quickly on the sides of mine, because I did paint the sides and put crazing on the sides. And then once I take my heat tool to this to kind of let it get set, I will be back so we can put on the buttons and then finish up with the gold on the top of the tree. So I will see you in just a little bit. Alright, so I already put a thin layer of that PPA matte medium onto the base, and now I'm just going to quickly start layering the different buttons and pearl little bits and bobs out of that bead mix that you're looking at. And coming up in the next segment, you're going to see that I already have the base all completed. I just did some different layering, wasn't too fussy about patterns or anything. And now I'm just adding some more of that PPA matte medium onto the top of the buttons that I've already layered. Don't worry about the white glue because it will dry translucent and clear, so you won't be able to see anything. Now I'm just adding some more of the little sequins and some of the glass glitter and the glass seed beads that I shared with you in the intro part of this video. This is just adding kind of a really kind of fun different layering and some visual interest and another layer of texture. So just showing you the different colored sequins I'm using, which I got from the Dollar Tree, and then some of that glass glitter, and then some of the green glitter from Making Memories, I believe it was, and then using some of the glass seed beads that I have in that clear glass jar, which I've hauled from somewhere, I don't remember where exactly. So I'm just really building up the different layers to the base. I'm working on that back, then I go to the front, then I go to each side, just so I can kind of have an even, you know, have a kind of a fairly even coat of all the different glass glitters and seed beads around the base of the tree. And I just think this turned out really super cute. Just kind of a fun way to use some different elements in your crafting stash that you maybe not typically use. And it's just kind of fun to mix buttons and glass seed beads and, you know, some of the glass glitter and different things like that into your crafty projects. And it makes it really sparkly and fun because this is a holiday season, and who doesn't like a lot of sparkle or a little bit of sparkle in your holiday home decor? Okay ladies, so now that I have just shared with you how I put together the base, and of course it needs some time to dry, so I don't want to tip this around, but you can see I just think that it looks so fun and so festive. It's a combination of glass glitter, some glass seed beads, some vintage buttons, and some different colored pearls from that acrylic mix I shared with you from Walmart. And because I wanted to make sure I got the back side done as well, because I did do the inking and crazing on the back, I wanted to make sure that it looked really nice in the back as well. So what I also did, I'll try to show you without tipping this, on some of those larger beads, I did drizzle some glue over the top, and I'm not sure if you caught that in part of the process portion, but I wanted to sprinkle some of those glass beads and stuff on top, and that's why I did that. And this stuff does dry clear, so don't worry if you use it in the same manner I did. It will dry clear. And then that button right there on the right, I can't reach around to point it because I'm holding this with the other hand, but there, that button has kind of like a it looks like a little pool or something. I took a Q-tip and smeared around some of that glue to kind of, so those items would kind of stick inside there. So I just wanted to share that part. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work on putting on this Gilders Wax onto the star, and I think what I want to do is kind of touch it along some, I mean not solid, but just like little areas throughout the tree. So like I said, you can use your finger, you can use a cloth, a sponge, and it tells you that on the back side. That's what I'm reading from. And I think I'm just going to just use my finger because I feel like that's just really the best tool. But if you have longer nails, like I used to have acrylic nails, it probably wouldn't work because your nails would get full of the wax. Or if you just don't want to touch it on your skin, that's totally fine. You can just use, like I said, one of the sponges, or you can always put on a glove, a disposable glove. That way you can still use your finger tool if you want. So I'm just going to kind of smudge in here, and I'll show you what it looks like on my finger. Ooh, this is awkward angle because I have you guys on the right side and I'm trying to use my right hand to show you, so it's kind of an awkward angle. But I'm just going to go ahead, let me just double check and make sure I'm still in frame. I need to go up a little bit so you can see the star. Please ignore all this stuff around this. This is my top of my craft table, so it's kind of full of some stuff. So I'm going to come a little bit closer so you can see the star part. Okay, so I'm just going to take my finger. I'm just going to hold on to this just because I have the rock and Christmas tree, remember? So I'm just going to take this, I'm just going to put my finger on here, and I'm just going to kind of put some of this different gold on there. And it's kind of showing up there a little bit. I'm just going to add a little bit more. And what you could do is if you wanted, you could even take like some gold paint or something and add that on there so it shows up just a little bit more. But I can really see it here. Fine with me. And let me go grab something really quick too that I want to add that I forgot to put on my craft table. So you ladies, if you've watched a lot of my prior videos, you are going to recognize that I use this gold smooch stuff quite a bit. I love this stuff. Love it, love it. I'm going to take some of this with the brush applicator and kind of go around the edges a little bit, and then probably on some of the crazy parts too. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of speed this next part up so you can to see how I'm going to do that. So I will see you back in just a little bit. Okay ladies, so now I am applying that Gilders paste wax in the antique gold to the star. I'm covering the front and the back of the star solidly, and then the sides I'm just kind of putting little hints of it there. And then now I'm going to go ahead and move down onto the tree itself, and I'm just putting it on the edges, kind of adding some little touches and highlights of the antique gold Gilders paste wax. I think it's just kind of a nice touch and add just a little bit of visual interest and another layer of texture, and it really pops off of that crazy medium from Tim Holtz. It's just a really, really cool look, and I'm liking how this is turning out, and I hope you ladies are going to like it as well. So I'll see you for the last part of the video coming up here in just a moment, where I share the completed tree. Hi ladies, so here is the completed altered wood tree, and I think this turned out really super cute. And I have it on my dining room table because my craft room table is just a total nightmare right now because I'm working on so many different projects for my Craftmas series. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of zoom in here. We're going to start at the base because that's actually my favorite spot or favorite part of this project. I love how the combination of the vintage buttons and the pearls, the different glass beads and the seed beads and the sequins, it just made a really nice mix. I think I'm going to kind of hold it so you can kind of get a little bit closer view. And I love that adhesive I used. It dries clear, and it was pretty quick to dry, to be honest with you. It didn't take as long as I thought it was going to. And it's just kind of nice to have a combination of some new items as well as some old. That one right there is actually a clear button. It's not a glob of adhesive. It's one of my clear buttons. But it's also nice to have some items in here that are from my family, so I can always have this to cherish. Now what I did is the back side, as I mentioned in the first part of the video, because I may want to display this somewhere where the back side is going to be seen. So I did the same treatments on the back that I did on the front. And we'll go back to the front here, and I also did the sides as well. Alright, so we're going to kind of zoom in on the star. And this is where I used the Gilders paste wax, or the Gilders wax, and this is the antique gold. And then I also went around the edges and used some of that gold smooch paint as well. I think that just added a nice little touch to it. And then you can really see that crazing in here from the Tim Holtz medium. This stuff is great. I love it. It gives you, I mean, this looks like old wood from a barn that's, I don't know, or a house that's been, from the 30s or something. It just looks so cool. And I love how it looks. And I did it on the green as well. It's a little hard to see on the green just because it's darker color. Let me see if I can focus in on. So you can kind of see the cracklings there in the green and stuff. It's just really, really cool. So I'm excited that this project turned out like this, and it was fairly quick and easy. And I hope that I was able to inspire you ladies to grab one of these altered or alterable wooden trees from Michael's. You can pick them up probably from different craft shops or even online through Amazon or Etsy, different styles and things like that. But this was a really fun project, and I'm excited to put this out for my Christmas decor this year. So if you have any questions, please leave me a comment below in case I didn't go over something as clearly in the prior clips or the process portion of this video, and I'm more than happy to answer your comments and questions. And I will see you ladies next time. So happy scrapping, happy crafting, happy planning, and be sure to check out my other videos on my Craftmas 2016 playlist. And I will see you ladies next time. Bye!